From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Saturday, October 25th, 2014. Silver is trading at $17.20 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,231 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $347. Antiwar.com reports a major crackdown in the Israeli-occupied West Bank saw troops shoot and kill 14-year-old Palestinian-American Orwa Abed El-Wahan Hamad Wahab, who Israeli officials say was among a group of teens throwing rocks near the Palestinian city of Ramallah. Hamad was born in New Orleans, and his family moved back to the West Bank when he was 6. The U.S. State Department urged a speedy and transparent investigation. He was the only Palestinian killed yesterday, and Israeli soldiers accused him of planning to throw a Molotov cocktail at traffic, endangering lives. 12 other Palestinians were wounded. A number of Israeli officials were calling for troops to increase their use of force in a violent crackdown against Palestinian unrest. Israeli troops killing Palestinian teens rarely involves a significant public investigation, though the fact that this particular teen was a U.S. citizen could make the incident more difficult to sweep under the rug. FPP Radio News is brought to you by Roberts & Roberts Brokerage. For over 35 years, Roberts & Roberts has been a trusted source for buying and selling your investment-grade precious metals. They now take Bitcoin for purchasing precious metals so you can turn your profits into a long-term investment. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on investing. 800-874-9760. UPI reports Amnesty International released a report Friday detailing a host of human rights violations committed by law enforcement in Ferguson, Missouri against protesters and journalists during the demonstrations that occurred in the wake of Mike Brown's fatal shooting by Officer Darren Wilson. The 23-page report offers first-hand accounts of abuse as documented by the organization's observers, as well as recommendations from the International Human Rights Group on what actions state and local governments can take to prevent future violations, bringing U.S. law and policy up to date with international standards. In a press release announcing the report, Stephen W. Hawkins, executive director of Amnesty International USA, said, "What Amnesty International witnessed in Missouri on the ground this summer underscored that human rights abuses do not just happen across borders and oceans. No matter where you live in the world, everyone is entitled to the same basic rights as a human being, and one of those rights is the freedom to peacefully protest." The report catalogs a long list of human rights violations, including unlawfully dispersing crowds and implementing curfews and keep walking policies that violate citizens' rights to peacefully assemble and move freely in a public space. It goes on to chronicle further abuses, including the use of non-lethal but still fatal ammunition, tear gas, and acoustic cannons on unarmed crowds. In the spirit of Motorhome Diaries and Liberty on Tour, I intend to take the message of peace, love, and liberty on the road. To find out more about the tour or to donate, visit tour.fppradio.com. That's tour.fppradio.com. Reuters reports Fannie Mae has reached a $170 million settlement of a lawsuit accusing it of misleading shareholders about its finances, risk management, and mortgage exposure before it was seized by the U.S. government during the 2008 financial crisis. The settlement, which requires court approval, was disclosed in a Friday filing with the U.S. District Court in Manhattan. It resolved shareholders' allegations that Fannie Mae defrauded shareholders and inflated its stock by issuing false and misleading statements about its internal controls, capitalization, accounting, and exposure to subprime and low documentation Alt-A mortgages. The settlement allocates $123.8 million to common stockholders and $46.2 million to preferred stockholders between November 8, 2006 and September 5, 2008. Fannie Mae's market value peaked during that time at more than $600 billion. It is now worth $2.71 billion. The government seized Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac on September 7, 2008, and put them under the Federal Housing Finance Agency, where they remain. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac together drew about $187.5 billion worth of bailout funds and have allegedly returned $218.7 billion to taxpayers in the form of dividends. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.